Welcome to 5-Minute Adventures in Risk and Resilience, the Steel City Re podcast on managing reputation risk. Today's episode, locking down risk before the whistle blows. The global extraction company's risk, communications, and legal officers sat down with a press release from the SEC between them. They received more than 18,000 whistleblower tips in 2023, almost 50% more than last year's record, said the counsel. And that came with record award amounts and lots of public exposure. I think we have rock-solid compliance and crisis communications programs, but I hate waiting for a problem to emerge, she added. And I am especially worried about claims filed to win a bounty by someone just fishing and hoping to strike the jackpot. It's basically swatting a company with the DOJ. I think we have an opportunity to mitigate our exposure, said the risk officer. We could manage our risk by persuading regulators that our compliance, risk management, and governance programs are thoughtful, dutiful, and responsible. The strategy is called Enterprise Reputation Risk Management, he continued. It's based on some Nobel Prize-winning concepts in behavioral economics. Theory, scoffed the counsel. I'll tell that to Morgan Stanley when the Department of Justice let the firm off the hook on an FCPA issue because of their risk management system back in 2012. That helped them avoid what was at the time an average fine of $70 million. I know that case, said counsel. Morgan Stanley was exonerated on the basis of their quality risk management, but only after a grueling and costly 2-year investigation. Exactly, said the risk officer. We can do them one better. Enterprise Reputation Risk Management is proactive. It's designed knowing that mitigation is much better than repair. More recent data shows that investors reward companies that have such reputation risk management systems in place with up to a 9% equity bump because they expect regulators will be more lenient. Is this strategy well known in risk management? Asked the communications officer. I haven't heard about it in my world. It often starts with an insurance captive, the risk officer explained. The risk world understands that if your captive is insuring a risk, you've figured out how to value, measure, and mitigate the risk successfully and profitably. I don't think you do that in comms. True, the top communicator nodded. Our measures of sentiment, trust, and ESG features don't capture risk. Moreover, the risk officer continued, the quality of the risk management strategy, the feature that most impressed regulators in that Morgan Stanley case, is authenticated by a parametric insurance product that is underwritten with objective affirmation. So, if your reputation risk numbers aren't good enough, don't bother applying. Right, counsel added. Like in any competitive sport, intentions are fine and all, but what matters is objective performance. So if we work together to communicate responsibly all this to our stakeholders, suggested the communications officer, it'll strengthen our resilience for whatever events may come? Could I set up a meeting for you with investor relations and government relations? The legal officer smiled as she folded the press release and dropped it in the recycling bin at her feet. Gentlemen, let's go win this game. With reputation risk forecasting, management, and insurance, Steel City Re helps companies build and prove to stakeholders their thoughtful risk management and dutiful governance over all that is mission critical. It is an authenticated story stakeholders can appreciate and value.